Alright, it sounds like we are good to go. I must admit, lovelies, that I'm a bit excited for this run. Scooter has a knack for finding some very unique Genesis games, and while normally we have this running joke where he and I seem to be the only ones who recognize it, I have no familiarity with that at all with Chuck Rock, so let us find out about this one together. Here is once again PraisedScooter, and here is Chuck Rock.
Alright, I think this means we're live. Someone will have to help me with audio just in case, but I'm going to assume we're live. Alright, we are live. Hello everyone, PraisedScooter here. I'm back again. Did you miss me? I hope you did. So today, at this point, we're playing probably a weird little game that, from my childhood, on the Genesis called Chuck Rock, as you can plainly see by the title here. And sorry, doing tech on the fly. So, I'm letting the title screen play out a little bit, because this is actually there's a lot of good songs in it, but the title song is like the best. Now, this is the game that definitely has a problem with substance. I'll be honest, because it focused a lot of its efforts on appearance. But enough talking about that. We're not ready to go yet, but basically, I have to click on the window again. Basically, when I hit start here in a second, or give the 3, 2, 1, that's when time will start. So, 3, 2, 1, start. Now, all we have in this game for moves is jump and kick. And just a little demo, Chuck Rock. There. That's probably like the one time we'll see Chuck Rock other than a boss fight. But as I said, the game focused on appearance, very much over substance. So there's only 5 stages in this, all divided up into like 3 or 4 segments each. Also, in chat, if you want to have a little fun, every time we start off a new segment, Chuck will say Unga Bunga. You can join him if you want to. Just give me a good old Unga Bunga with this. Give me a good old Unga Bunga to the super crunchy sound bit of a caveman going Unga Bunga. So, for a quick explanation of the game, because it has a plot, it's a stupid plot. Long story short is a T-Rex, which we'll see at the end of this game. By the way, Unga Bunga. A T-Rex we'll see at the end of this game called Gary Stole Your Cave Life. Go. I wish it was more complicated. That's it. This game actually came out on multiple systems. I think it's out on the Super Nintendo, but I know for a fact it's out on the Amiga. And the Amiga version of the game fleshes out the story a lot more. But I played the Genesis version growing up, so Genesis version it is.
Genesis Squad Unite!
Genesis Squad. Also, I hope you can hear Weaver. I had to mute a lot of my... I had to dull a lot of my settings just to get this to sound right. So, if you can't, I can increase her volume and work on that in the background. And I'm just gonna hope back-end team will let me know. Also, I'm gonna say a lot of things super fast, Weaver, so you can interrupt me at any point, because I got a lot to cover in a short amount of time, but donations take precedent.
Will do.
And I took a death, unfortunately. Oh. Alright, I'll have a second, but I'll turn up Weaver, so... Alright. There we go. Now, the weird thing about this game that I will mention, besides the fact the game is weird to begin with, it's like something out of the Ren and Stimpy era of gross out humor of the time, is this game apparently did well enough, or the company that made it was well off enough, that they actually made a sequel to this game. And I didn't find out that that was a thing until about 2 or 3 years ago, where you play as the son of Chuck Rock. It's weirder than you think. But at this point, now that I've gone through a whole bunch, how about a boss that can only be destroyed by rock? It's basically a cycle of pick up rock, throw rock, repeat. There will be more instances of throwing rocks, or chuck rock, but this is probably the most we'll be chucking rock in this entire run. Now, even though, I will say that even though at this point, like, I'm kind of talking over a lot, the visuals and the music carry this game a lot harder than the actual substance of it. But this was out in the prime time of old video games where difficulty... Oh, boss is dead, by the way. Where difficulty kind of was the hope to keep you replaying a game instead of anything else. Also, this is probably the loudest song in the game, so if your ears are bleeding, I'm sorry, I can't really fix that right now. This is just the audio balancing of the game, and it sucks. So, to get a little more into, like, specifics of things, like, I mentioned very lightly, but I'll go into it a little bit deeper. We have a jump button. The jump button in the case of the Genesis is the C button, the button on the far right. Unga bunga, by the way. The C button is jump, B button is attack, A button does nothing. It's a 2-button game. And we have 2 attacks. We can either do a belly bump on the ground or do a kick in midair. We will be seeing this kick for like almost the entirety of the game unless I goof up the timing on pressing the attack button. Dang it. I might take a hit here. Die. Yep. So I gotta play. Unfortunately, I gotta play a tiny bit more careful just because I do abuse lives to kind of brute force a way through a lot of this game. So might slow down the overall pace in general. Dang it. Also, I am going to be kicking and hitting a bunch of stuff here that you probably shouldn't be able to, like dinosaurs flinging mud at my face. I can kill the mud. Also,
so I have to ask, Scooter, since you are kind of the master of finding these fun, obscure games, how in the world did you come across Chuck Rock?
So, growing up, this is the case with the Genesis game I played for last game marathon, Rystar, is a lot of times when visiting my aunt, who lives about 2 hours away from my hometown, for some reason my parents let me bring my Genesis with me, and there was effectively what we can call a Blockbuster within like walking distance of her house, of my aunt's house. So to keep me entertained, my parents went out and rented a game for a day while they talked with my aunt. Rystar was one of them. I'll get back to that story in just a second. Hold on. There's a cycle with this boss. I gotta try and hit him into a corner here. Okay, I got him corner locked. Easiest boss in the game because you can corner lock him. Done. But yeah, basically my parents would rent the game for the day to entertain me, and I would spend the day playing that game, and then eventually I would own that game. Don't know how that series of events boiled down, but that's how it went a lot of times. Now, I will say, in terms of music, this is definitely vibe time music. And, like, when I get to the stage, I vibe a lot to the song and just kind of mellow out. Because, like, the first two kind of put me on edge, whether it's casual or speedrunning this game. Quote-unquote speedrunning, by the way. But unfortunately, I have to talk over a lot of the cool music to explain some things that are not discussed about in this game outside of the instruction manual. There is swimming in this game, which is literally you point the direction you want to swim, and then, but if you don't point up or down, but if you don't input like up or down direction while swimming, Chuck will naturally float to the surface. We have an air meter while swimming. It's Chuck's head, and it will slowly fill up blue as we get closer to being out of air. Oh, hey, I can get that heart. Safety struts. And that's going to be an important thing to remember for the boss of this world, and then not much after it, even on like a casual playthrough, because you will be in water every now and again, but not long enough to matter after this, after the token water stage. Also, I'm going to be trying to gather a lot of hearts, because if not for the final boss, of this game, this boss coming up is the boss that gives me the most trouble. Because basically we've been playing a platformer game, and then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, would you like to play Space Harrier or R-Type or any other Danmaku / shmup that you're familiar with? By the way, you don't get a gun, you still have your melee attack. Boss in question. I just gotta get into the pattern. Yeah, just gotta get into the pattern of timing my kick with when he starts sliding stuff forward, and I goofed that one up. Also, I was about to drown anyway, so 0th life counts, and I have a continue to play around with. And sorry, I'm going to get a little bit focused here while I try and get him down. I got to get out just to refresh my air. It wasn't enough. Okay, I do have to use a continue at this point. Which, unfortunately, I only get one of those for the entire game. This is also a little bit of luck, by the way. I should mention now, because I almost had it happen. Drowning is instant death. I'm getting greedy. I will say, just because I know my block is rather short, if I do get a game over, I'll just try and get back here as fast as I can and show off as much as I can, and it'll become more of a show off rather than a. It'll become more of a show off showcase rather than a. Oh, I got him. Cool. It'll become more of a showcase rather than a speed run. So I'll just take the L on that one. But anyway, we beat the boss. Ice level here. It's the other level with bad sound mixing. So my apologies once again. Nothing I can fix. Also, it's really hard to see, but there's like death traps everywhere in the ceiling, but they hide the icicles that fall on you very coyly, we'll say. But also, we're just going to see a lot of weird stuff here beyond the final level. There's a lot of weird stuff here, like elephants that will just fling us up on their tusks, and elephants that will shoot us like a cannonball out of their trucks. Reminder that I said this game is weird. It doesn't get any better, especially after World 3.
See, you keep calling this game weird, but frankly, by my standards, this is pretty par for the course for a Genesis game. Wonky sound chip and all.
By my standards, I think it's the Genesis that's weird.
At least you had a Genesis. I grew up with a Nomad.
Oh yeah, that was oddly topic conversation. I've never had or seen one, but I feel like the Nomad was kind of like the Switch before the Switch was a thing.
Yes and no, because I mean they touted it as portable, but unless you got the battery pack, which drained really fast, it wasn't actually portable. You still had to plug it in. You just didn't need a TV.
Oh boy. I may have to get an emergency health item here. It's a bad idea. Never mind. It didn't work out. So, for anybody not keeping track at home, by the way, I won't lie, this is probably my sloppiest run I've ever had, even in practice. This is... I basically have 2 lives to beat the rest of the game. Thankfully, this is level 4. This is the 4th level out of 5, but there's still... I think this segment leads into the boss here as soon as I get through it. I just have to retrek all the ground. I'm gonna wait for it to do something. Come on, go away. Go away. thank you. Like that. So yeah, things might slow down a little bit because I basically have to play very careful now.
Alright, chat, everyone send Scooter your energy. We believe he can get through this game on 2 lives.
Alright, unfortunately I'm going to have to ignore the heart and maybe have to take a death. Oh wait, there's another segment. I forgot there's another segment. Okay, so no lives, by the way. For anybody taking note at home. No lives. I just gotta hope I get 100,000 points at some point here, which is an extra life. So this may slow down a little bit here. Alright. I'll, like, slow down a lot more than I want to, because I may have to go out of my way to get items. Oh boy. Okay. I don't understand this boss, by the way. Like, other than an attack we'll see here in a minute, he doesn't do a lot of damage, but you also can't do a lot of damage to him. Ugh. Alright. That's a game over, game over. Let me look at something here, because I had a save backup ready, but unfortunately that is also not on the system I've got set up right now. So I think I have to count my losses and just chalk this up to being a showcase instead, because I think my nerves from doing behind the scenes stuff got to me at this point, and I wasn't thinking clearly. My apologies, everybody.
You were juggling many hats this morning, and we appreciate everything you were doing on the back end.
So, I guess what I can do here is the best I can do is I can describe what the final boss is. I mentioned it was a T-Rex. It's a T-Rex that's basically the full screen tall, and the final battle is against him with like 2 platforms placed properly. He can only be hurt in the head, but he can attack you on every level, so he can punch at you in the mid-range, he can dash over you at the bottom, and he can chew on you at his head range. And keep in mind, all I really have to defend myself is that kick. But to describe the boss, it's a T-Rex with heart print boxers, boxing gloves, and a crown. His name is Gary. So, yeah, I think just because I do have to juggle hats a little bit here, I think I will just sign off on this here. I'm not done for the marathon. I do have a co-commentary block coming up on with Wolf Kaminari for Sonic Mania in a couple of hours here. So I'll be hanging out for that, and that's all I have to add to this run that crashed and burned super hard. I guess whoever is on the back end, if you don't mind smooshing us away.
Hi, my name is Robbie, and I'm the Executive Director at Stream for a Cause. At SFAC, all of our work centers around community, whether that is providing some assistance to community-based and grassroots nonprofits, or whether that's working with content creators to help them lead their communities through charity streams. Everything we do is about providing better communities for us all to be a part of. At Stream for a Cause, we go about this in a lot of different ways. One, and probably our most well-known, is our grant-making program, which provides crucial funding to allow nonprofits to do their work. We also have our emergency response fund, which we use to support humanitarian programs and aid that happen when we don't have any notice or warning that it's going to. Think about like natural disaster relief. We also do a lot of work with sustainability coaching to make sure that the nonprofits that we do work with have the best shot of success, from helping their boards to develop to helping to make sure that they have the tools that they need at their disposal to be successful in helping others. I just want to take a second to thank you because your support means the world. We wouldn't be where we are today without dedicated supporters who are out there doing charity streams, making donations, being part of our tournaments and events. It's been a wild ride starting Stream for a Cause, and we're really just getting started. I am so thankful to each of you for spending time with us, for laughing with us, for crying with us, crying with me, I cry a lot, or making sure that we are just taking care of ourselves. Your support, the work that you do on behalf of Stream for a Cause, means so much to me. And I really just want to take a second to say thank you.
Alright. Chat, can you do me a favor? Can we get one big unga bunga for our dear PraisedScooter? He showed off some really cool stuff with that game, and although unfortunately he wasn't able to show off the ending, we do appreciate everything he did show, and he's been working really hard trying to prep his own stream, trying to help run tech for our overnight block, so a big show of support for him, I know, would mean the world. Because of course we here at the Stat Game Marathon are all about supporting each other, and after all, we are all here to support charity. And who doesn't love charity? But for those of you who are coming, who might just be coming in, or who may just even have forgotten, you might be wondering, what charity is the Stat Game Marathon supporting? Well, we are raising money for Stream for a Cause. Stream for a Cause works with nonprofit organizations to create sustainable programming and creates grant opportunities to help local and grassroots organizations be able to fulfill their missions. One of the really cool things about Stream for a Cause is that if you go to their homepage, you can, at the bottom of the page, submit a nonprofit that you think should be supported by Stream for a Cause. So if you have a local charity that is near and dear to your heart that you want to support, definitely submit a form and for their consideration. This month, Stream for a Cause is focusing on a collaboration with Charity Gaming. Charity Gaming is a nonprofit that provides video games to children in hospitals to give them a sense of normalcy. And if we are able to reach our $15,000 goal for this marathon, which I still very much believe we can, it would allow Charity Gaming to get 43 Switches and games to donate to different children's hospitals. And not only donations go to charity, but they also unlock all sorts of fabulous prizes. We are doing giveaways at every $1,000 milestone within the chat. Currently, if we make it to $7,000, we will give away a Steve and Alex amiibo. We are also, for every 5K, unlocking milestone prizes, as well as our grand prizes for we reach our $15,000 donation goal of a $100 Amazon gift card, and some very, very gorgeous custom Game Boy stands generously donated to us by our sponsor, Rose Colored Gaming. We do also have a number of bid wars for different runs that you can put your donations towards to help influence the runs. Currently, for our SSX on Tour run starting in about an hour from now, you can help choose what character will be played for the duration of that run. Currently, Unicorn is leading the way. Peach is right behind, but there's plenty of time to change that out and determine a different character or further support one of the characters I previously mentioned should you so wish. Right now, we are working to get our next run of Dong Dong Never Die, Wu Lao Jun, set up as soon as possible. But for now, sit back, relax, enjoy the tunes, and we will be back with you in a moment. Alright, so we've got a few technical issues to sort out before our next runner is going to be ready. But while we're rating, I want to go ahead and take some time to shout out a couple of our wonderful sponsors for this marathon. First off, I want to give a shout out to Rose Colored Gaming. As I mentioned earlier, they have very generously donated some of their custom Game Boy stands as a grand finale prize if we reach our donation total. They've also provided us a 10% off a purchase of $50 or more from their store that can be used all weekend during the marathon. Resco Gaming's got a lot of really awesome controller stands, console stands, game stands. So if you like to display all of your fabulous gaming swag, definitely give them a check. I also want to go ahead and give a shout out to Albion College for hosting our event space for our tech team, as well as the assistance that their esports team has provided for us. We really appreciate their generosity and support in this, as well as being able to have a centralized hub for our tech team to work out of collaboratively. So thank you very much to Albion College as well. And of course, most importantly, outside of even our sponsors, I want to give a shout out to everyone who has helped out with the marathon, behind the scenes, our art team, Bubba, Madame Toadstool, Pixel Plume, who have created all these beautiful overlays that you see, as well as designing the graphics for our merchandise, as well as our tech team of Owensback, Jambi, PraisedScooter, Bola Fajita, who keep this marathon up and running, because without our tech team, there would be no stream at all. So definitely give a big shout out of love to everyone working very hard behind the scenes on this marathon. as we put the finishing touches on that Dawn Dawn Never Die run, and as we reach the dawn of the final day, I'm afraid it is my time to bid farewell from the announcing desk. This will be the end of my time in front of the mic marathon, but I will still be around on the back end, keeping track of all of your generous donations and making sure that they get put towards the appropriate incentives. Of course, I'll also be hanging out in the chat as well with all of you lovely people. If you want to find me after the marathon, I don't particularly stream much, but I am around on the social media. You can find me on Twitter, on YouTube, at Illuweaver. That's ILLUWEAVER. And if you like gaming news with a side of commentary from a classy, sassy lady, might be to your taste. Before I say farewell, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has come out in support of the Stat Game Marathon. Whether you are telling your friends about the marathon, whether you're donating towards the marathon, or whether you're just coming in and watching, we truly appreciate your support. We truly appreciate you coming out and seeing what we're all about and supporting us. It really does mean the world. And fear not, for I do leave you in very, very good hands. So I'm going to go ahead and hand you off to the one, the only Power to Mario, and until the next marathon, fare thee well, lovelies.
Hey, Stacked Gamers. It's Power to Mario. Weaver, you're so sweet. Couldn't even hold it together. I heard you chuckle a little bit at the end there. It's like the one, the only. You're so great. Thank you, everyone. Can we get some, whatever emotes you want? Spam some emotes for Illuweaver for announcing, and not only that, but also keeping the incentives together. She's been great. Thank you so much. You're stuck with me for the next 4 hours, so get comfortable. We've got some great games coming up in the next 4 hours. We've got Sneaky Scarab with Pokemon Masters Arena and Pokemon Team Turbo. We've got Master Starman with SSX on Tour, which has an incentive that I'll be talking about in a moment here, as well as Wolf Kaminari with Sonic Mania. But before all of that, we're about to go on a journey. Let me tell you, I've not seen this game played before live, and I half know what to expect because I've seen the characters before, but I've never seen the game. We've got Dong Dong Never Die with Home 7-Eleven. You're gonna want to watch this and get your donations ready. It's going to be a trip. By the way, our current incentive is for SSX on Tour. You have the option of choosing which character that Master Starman will play as. The options are Luigi, Mario, Peach, and Unicorn. And currently, we've got donos for Unicorn and Peach. Unicorn's in first with $20. Peach is in second with $10, and then Mario and Luigi, no donos yet. So if you want to see the brothers go on ahead of these other two, donate. Or if you want to see Unicorn, just pile it on. We want to see Peach, pile it on. We're raising money for charity gaming, partnering with Stream for a Cause. So get your donos in. With that, we're going to talk about charity gaming as we go through this section. But let's go ahead and let's see. Is Comb ready to go? Are we ready to bring him in? And of course, I'm asking you, chat, since SGM, you all know when our streamers are ready to go.